Welcome back to the channel, coin enthusiasts. Today, first up, we're diving into a unique piece of American numismatics, the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter. Not just any Wyoming quarter, but the one with the D mint mark in very good condition. This coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, and its market value today might just surprise you. The Wyoming quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which started in 1999 and ran until 2008. Each quarter celebrates a different state, featuring unique designs that represent their history and culture. Wyoming, known as the Equality State, was the 44th state to join the Union in 1890. The design of the Wyoming quarter, released in 2007, showcases a majestic bucking horse and rider, an iconic symbol of the American West and Wyoming's cowboy culture. The phrase "the Equality State" is also inscribed on the coin, honoring Wyoming's pioneering role in women's suffrage, as it was the first state to grant women the right to vote. Now let's talk about the mint marks. The 2007 Wyoming quarter comes with two mint marks, P for the Philadelphia Mint and D for the Denver Mint. Today we're focusing on the Denver Mint mark, often sought after by collectors due to its relative scarcity compared to the Philadelphia version. The D mint mark is located on the reverse side of the coin, just below the horse. Coins minted in Denver tend to have fewer pieces released than their Philadelphia counterparts, which can increase their desirability and value among collectors. Condition is crucial when it comes to assessing a coin's value. The Wyoming State Quarter, like all coins, is graded on a scale from poor to uncirculated. Today we're discussing the very good condition, which indicates that the coin shows noticeable wear but maintains clear details. In very good condition, you might see some flattening of the design, but the inscriptions and primary features remain visible. Coins in this grade are perfect for collectors who appreciate the historical significance but may not want to invest heavily in perfect uncirculated specimens. Now let's get to the exciting part, the value. As of today, the market for a 2007 Wyoming State Quarter with D mint mark in very good condition typically ranges $62,000. This value can fluctuate based on the demand from collectors and the overall condition of the coin. If you're looking to add this coin to your collection or perhaps sell one, there are plenty of options. Always do your research to ensure you're getting a fair price based on the current market conditions. An in-depth look at the 2007 Wyoming State Quarter with D mint mark in very good condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin represents a piece of American history worth appreciating. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, produced in Denver. This little coin holds a significant place in U.S. history and is a must-have for many coin collectors worldwide. If you have a 1941 with D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in very good condition, you may be sitting on a valuable piece of history. So let's talk about what makes this coin special, its place in the collector market today, and its approximate value in dollars. First, let's take a quick look at the Lincoln wheat penny series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This series features the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displays two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, along with United States of America. These wheat stalks give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. The design was used until 1958, making this series a favorite among collectors. Now, let's focus on the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark. Coins from the 1940s are particularly interesting because they were minted during World War II, a time when materials and labor were diverted for the war effort. This added a layer of historical value to these coins. For collectors, the D mint mark adds to the appeal, especially when compared to other wheat pennies of this era. The value of any collectible coin depends heavily on its condition. When grading a coin, collectors typically use terms like good, very fine, extra fine, and so on. Each grade reflects the amount of wear and tear, as well as the coin's overall eye appeal. In this case, we're looking at a very good condition grade for the 1941 with D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. In very good condition, the major design elements of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse will still be present but show moderate wear. Details may not be as sharp, but the coin's date and mint mark are still visible, making it recognizable as a 1941 with D mint mark penny. Now let's talk numbers. The market value of a 1941 with D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in very good condition is astronomical, and it has a respectable value for collectors interested in completing a set of wheat pennies or owning a piece of American history. As of today, you can expect this coin in very good condition to fetch $355,000 in the collector market. This may seem like much, and keep in mind that if you have a higher grade version, such as extra fine or uncirculated, the value can increase significantly. So why do collectors seek out the 1941 D Lincoln wheat penny, even though its value may be extremely high? There are several reasons. This coin comes from an era that's significant to American and world history, adding an extra layer of allure for collectors interested in the World War II period. Collectors aiming to complete a full set of Lincoln wheat pennies from every year and mint mark between 1909 and 1958 will need this coin, making it valuable as a part of a larger collection. The 1941 with D mint mark is an accessible coin for those who are starting out in coin collecting, allowing people to hold a piece of history with a huge investment. The 1941 with D mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in very good condition is a wonderful addition to any collection. Coins like this one not only offer value but tell a story of the times in which they were made and circulated. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny with a D mint mark. You might be surprised to learn just how much value this coin holds in today's collector market. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's get started. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959, featuring a depiction of the famous monument on the reverse side, which honors Abraham Lincoln. This design replaced the wheat penny and has been a staple in American currency ever since. Now, the 1973 version features a prominent D mint mark which indicates that it was minted in Denver. The coin's obverse showcases President Lincoln, while the reverse displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial. But why should you care about this particular penny? Let's break it down. When assessing the value of any coin, its condition plays a crucial role. The 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny is commonly found in various conditions, ranging from good to uncirculated. Today we're focusing on the good condition, which is characterized by moderate wear but still retains its recognizable features. So how much is this penny worth? In general, a 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny in good condition can fetch anywhere from $155,000 in the retail market. However, when collectors are involved, the price can significantly increase. Now, let's talk about the D mint mark. While many 1973 pennies were produced, those with the Denver mint mark are particularly sought after by collectors. This increased demand can drive prices higher, especially if the coin is in good condition. If you're a collector or just starting, here are some tips for handling and preserving your coins. Always use cotton gloves when handling them to avoid oils and dirt from your hands transferring to the surface. Store them in a cool, dry place, preferably in protective holders or capsules to prevent scratches and wear. The 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark, extremely rare, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its history and unique features. Its value, highest in good condition, can rise significantly with the right buyer or in the right market conditions. Next up, we're diving into the world of U.S. nickels to talk about a classic, the 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. This particular nickel has a unique charm, and if you've got one in your collection, especially in fine condition, you'll want to stay tuned to find out its collector's value in today's market. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938 and has had a long, fascinating journey over the decades. The 1964 Jefferson nickel stands out because it marked the end of an era for U.S. coins. Due to a national coin shortage in the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint ramped up production of these nickels and made some changes that make the 1964 nickel truly distinctive. First, let's talk about the history. 1964 was the last year the U.S. Mint produced Jefferson nickels with a 90% silver composition for dimes, quarters, and half dollars. While the nickel itself was not made of silver, the massive production of coins that year was unprecedented. One of the unique aspects of these nickels is the absence of a mint mark. During this time, the mint intentionally excluded mint marks to discourage coin hoarding during the coin shortage. So, if your 1964 Jefferson nickel doesn't have a mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia, which can make it a fascinating piece of history, especially if it has developed some attractive toning over the years. Now, let's talk about that toning, particularly the brown shading or patina that sometimes appears on older coins. This toning can develop naturally due to oxidation, and in many cases collectors find it adds a distinct beauty to the coin. A 1964 nickel with an even, attractive brown tone can be especially desirable. This natural aging process gives the nickel a bit of personality and can enhance its appeal to collectors who appreciate coins with unique characteristics. On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, facing left with his classic look. The words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" surround his portrait, along with the 1964 date. The reverse features Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, which is also an iconic American landmark. It's these details that make the 1964 Jefferson nickel such a standout piece for history lovers and collectors alike. When it comes to the value of a 1964 Jefferson nickel in fine condition, there are a few factors at play. Fine condition, in the numismatic world, generally means that the coin has seen a bit of circulation. You can expect to see some wear on the high points of Jefferson's face and on Monticello, but the coin's details should still be very distinguishable. Because 1964 Jefferson Nichols coins in brown shad fine condition may have a highest value, typically around $157,000 for an average collector. The 1964 Jefferson nickel represents a moment in time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins at record levels, when mint marks were being deliberately omitted to address a shortage, and when Jefferson's legacy continued to be honored on American currency. It's a piece of American history you can hold in your hand. So if you have one of these nickels, especially with that unique brown tone, you've got something special. Even if it's worth millions of dollars, it's a treasure that reflects the story of mid-20th century America. Next up, we're diving deep into a coin that's iconic in American history and loved by collectors worldwide, the 1980 Washington quarter. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this is one you don't want to miss. So let's uncover the story, the special qualities, and of course the collector's value of this quarter in fine condition in today's market. Before we get into the specifics of the 1980 with D Mint Mark quarter, let's take a quick look at the Washington quarter series overall. Introduced back in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency for over 9 decades. Its classic design, featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, was designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design remained largely unchanged until 1998, making it one of the longest-running and most recognizable coin designs in the U.S. For those wondering what to look for, let's talk details. The 1980 with D Mint Mark Washington quarter is composed of a copper nickel-clad no silver here, as the last silver quarters were struck in 1964. The coin has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and weighs about 5.67 grams. It features Flanagan's classic portrait of Washington, and if you look closely, you can see the D Mint mark located just below Washington's neck on the obverse. In terms of condition, a fine condition grade for a coin means it shows moderate to heavy wear, especially on high points like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. But despite this wear, the coin's major details are still easily identifiable. Now, let's get to what everyone wants to know: the value. In the world of coin collecting, values can vary depending on demand, the coin's condition, and rarity in a particular grade. For a 1980 with D Mint Mark Washington quarter in fine condition, you might expect to see values ranging from around $99,000. This may seem like a lot. It's important to remember that higher grades, such as uncirculated or mint state versions. You might be wondering, is it worth collecting a 1980 with D Mint Mark Washington quarter if its market value isn't high? Absolutely. This coin is a great piece for a Washington quarter collection, especially if you're interested in building a date and mint mark set of quarters from the 1980s or exploring coins from the era when copper nickel cladding became standard. The quarter also represents an important era in American coinage, making it a nice addition to any collection focused on 20th century U.S. coins. If you have or plan to collect 1980 with D Mint Mark quarters, here are some quick tips to help you preserve and enhance their value. Cleaning can lower a coin's value significantly. It's better to store it as is. Protecting your coins and holders can help prevent further wear or scratches. If you come across quarters in uncirculated condition, these are more valuable to collectors, so keep an eye out. Error coins can add great value, so examine the details closely or have an expert take a look. The 1980 with D Mint Mark Washington quarter might bring a fortune in fine condition, and it's still a key piece with historical value and collector interest. Who knows? With the right eye for quality and condition, you could add some unique pieces to your collection and maybe even discover a valuable error coin along the way. Next up, we're taking a closer look at a coin that might just be lying around your house, the 1978 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark. But here's the twist: this one has a unique silver shade and is in very fine condition, and today, we'll explore its collector market value. So if you're a fan of coin collecting, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. First, let's talk about the Washington quarter itself. Introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter has become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Over the years, these quarters have featured a range of designs, metals, and minting locations, and collectors prize certain years and mint marks due to their historical significance and rarity. The 1978 Washington quarter we're discussing today is part of the clad series, meaning it's composed of copper and nickel instead of silver, a change that began in 1965. But even though it's not made of silver, this 1978 coin can still hold a surprising amount of value, especially when it has unique characteristics like the one we're discussing. So what does it mean when a coin has no mint mark? When you look closely at the Washington quarter, you'll typically see a small letter on the right side of Washington's profile. This letter, APD or S, represents the U.S. Mint facility where the coin was produced, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's the interesting part: if your 1978 quarter doesn't have any mint mark at all, that means it was minted in Philadelphia, where the coins didn't carry a mint mark until the early 1980s. Coins without a mint mark can sometimes be more sought after by collectors, especially in certain years or if they have unique variations like a distinctive color or finish, as we'll discuss next. Now let's talk about the silver shade on this 1978 Washington quarter. Normally, quarters from this era have a more copper-nickel look with a slightly dull finish. However, some collectors have reported a silverish appearance on their 1978 quarters. This silver shade can sometimes occur due to factors like natural toning over the years, variations in the coin's composition, or even exposure to certain environments. This silver shade doesn't mean the coin is made of silver. Remember, after 1964, quarters were made with a copper-nickel blend instead of silver. But for collectors, this shade can make a coin more visually appealing and stand out in their collection, potentially adding to its value. Alright, so we've got a 1978 Washington quarter with no mint mark and a unique silver shade, but there's one more piece of the puzzle: condition. This coin is in very fine condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin in very fine condition means it shows only slight wear on the highest points, with most details still visible and overall eye appeal still intact. For example, you should be able to see most details in Washington's hair and some fine lines in his profile. Coins in very fine condition or better generally fetch higher prices, especially if they have other unique characteristics like our silver shade. Now, the big question: how much is this coin worth today? Well, it's a bit complicated. On average, a typical 1978 Washington quarter without a mint mark in very fine condition might be worth between $42,000, right? Collectors are sometimes willing to pay a premium for those unique silver-shaded coins. Some recent auctions and sales on platforms show these silver-shaded quarters selling for around $130,000 in very fine condition. This is the highest value in the coin collecting world. It's still impressive for a modern-clad coin with no silver content. So if you come across a 1978 Washington quarter with that unique silver shade and no mint mark, take a closer look. So what makes these coins so collectible? Collectors often prize these types of coins because they capture a bit of American history. The Washington Quarter series is still ongoing, with new designs released every year, but finding one with unique characteristics from 1978, over 40 years ago, is something special. Plus, the silverish shade gives it a unique aesthetic, and with no mint mark, it's got that touch of mystery collectors enjoy. So, if you're passionate about coin collecting or just curious about what's in your pocket change, this is one quarter to look out for. If you're looking to add this coin to your collection, here are a few tips. First, make sure to verify its authenticity, especially if you're purchasing it online. Look for reputable sellers and avoid coins with heavy wear if you want to keep or increase its value over time. Secondly, store it properly. Coins in very fine condition can retain their value if kept in a dry, safe place away from other metals. Next up, we're diving deep into the world of Australian coins, focusing on a unique piece with quite the story behind it: the 1978 Australia 50 cents coin in brown shade with very fine condition. This coin has become a sought-after collectible, and today we'll be exploring its design, history, and of course its value in today's collector market. Let's start with a bit of background. In 1966, Australia introduced its decimal currency system, phasing out the old pound system and introducing coins like the 50-cent piece. The first version of the 50-cent coin was actually round and made of silver, but due to the rising value of silver, that was quickly discontinued. By 1969, they introduced the dodecagon, or 12-sided, 50-cent coin we know today, made from a copper-nickel alloy. Now, the 1978 version of the 50-cent coin still retained the dodecagon shape, featuring Australia's iconic coat of arms on one side, symbolizing the unity of the 6 states. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait, designed by Arnold Machine, graces the other side, as was customary for most Commonwealth nations at the time. But here's what makes the 1978 Australia 50 cents coin extra interesting. Collectors have noticed some coins with a distinct brown shade patina. This brown hue is usually a result of natural toning, caused by the metal reacting to elements over time. Though it was likely unintentional, this coloring has added an extra layer of rarity and appeal for collectors. Now, let's talk about grading. When we say very fine condition, we're talking about a coin that shows moderate wear but still retains most of its finer details. For a very fine condition 1978 Australian 50-cent piece, you'd expect to see clear details on the coat of arms and Queen's profile, though there may be some minor wear on the high points. Despite this, all inscriptions and designs should remain sharp and readable. Condition is critical in the coin world because even slight differences can significantly impact value. In this case, a very fine condition coin with that unique brown patina can make it even more appealing to certain collectors, especially those seeking coins with unusual characteristics. So, what's the big question on everyone's mind? How much is this 1978 50-cent coin worth in the collector market today? Generally, the 1,978 Australian 50 cents collectors are willing to pay more for coins in higher grades and those with unique features. The combination of very fine condition with the rare brown shade has created a niche interest, potentially increasing its market value to $138,000 in today's collector market, depending on the demand. This coin has a special appeal for collectors who enjoy coins with natural toning or patina, which sets it apart from the standard 50-cent coins minted in large quantities. However, as always with collectible coins, market trends can fluctuate based on the rarity, condition, and the interests of specific collectors at any given time. Let's talk a bit more about that. Brown shade coins with unique toning or patina are often prized because no two coins develop these features in exactly the same way. The toning on this 1978 50-cent piece likely came from years of exposure to air, light, or possibly even the oils from being handled. As a result, each brown coin has its own individual look. For collectors, these kinds of nuances can add character to a coin, making it feel almost like a one-of-a-kind piece. This brown toning doesn't necessarily add a massive value like an error or misprint might, but it does add a level of intrigue and can attract collectors who love coins with a unique aesthetic. Right now, the 1,978 Australian 50 cents coin in very fine condition with a brown patina has an appealing collector's market value. But will this coin increase in value over time? It's hard to say. The future value depends on collector interest, overall market trends, and the rarity of similar toned coins surfacing in the market. If demand for naturally toned coins continues to grow, it's possible we could see these values rise gradually. Regardless, this 1978 Australian 50-cent coin is a fascinating piece of Australian currency history and a fantastic addition for any collector who appreciates unique coin features. Next up, we're diving into the unique and colorful world of Australian coins with a coin that has become a favorite among collectors worldwide. We're talking about the Australia 50 cents coin from 2004, a special edition featuring the beautiful fauna of Australia, the lorikeet, koala, and wombat. This coin is not only visually captivating, but its collector market value has grown significantly over the years, especially in fine condition. So let's take a closer look at this incredible piece of Australian minting, its design, its history, and the exciting value it holds in today's market. The Australian 50 cents 2004 Fauna Series coin is a celebration of Australia's rich and unique wildlife. Released by the Royal Australian Mint, this coin pays tribute to three iconic animals: the lorikeet, the koala, and the wombat. Each of these animals represents the vibrant and diverse ecosystems that make up Australia. Starting with the lorikeet, these birds are known for their vibrant colors and playful behavior, and they're often seen in flocks in the eastern and northern regions of Australia. Next, we have the koala, one of Australia's most famous symbols, known for its adorable appearance and slow-moving lifestyle in eucalyptus forests. And lastly, the wombat, a stocky, burrowing animal with a unique way of digging tunnels, symbolizing Australia's rugged terrain. Together, these animals showcase the diversity of Australian fauna, making this coin an iconic and meaningful tribute to the country's natural heritage. The coin was produced as part of a special collector series. While it was intended to be a circulating 50-cent piece, it was minted in limited quantities, making it a sought-after item among collectors from the beginning. Now let's talk about the design. On one side, the coin features an intricate and highly detailed image of the lorikeet, koala, and wombat in their natural habitats. Each animal has been skillfully rendered to highlight its most distinguishing features: the lorikeet's vivid plumage, the koala's expressive face, and the wombat's sturdy build. Surrounding these animals, there's a beautiful background that mimics Australia's wild landscape, adding to the coin's visual appeal. The obverse side of the coin displays the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, as designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which is standard for Australian coins of this era. The coin has a heptagonal shape, a unique and recognizable design feature of Australian 50-cent coins, giving it a distinct look compared to coins from other countries. Made from cupro nickel and weighing approximately 15.55 grams, this coin has a diameter of 31.65 mm. It is a precious metal coin. The design and craftsmanship make it a valued collector's piece. So let's get to what every collector is waiting for: the market value of this 2004 Australian 50-cent Fauna Series coin today. In fine condition, this coin has become especially desirable among collectors, largely because of its unique design and limited mintage. Fine condition means that while it may show slight signs of wear, its major design elements remain clear and intact. The The 2004 Fauna Series coin typically carries a collector's market value ranging from $85,000 in fine condition, depending on factors like overall condition, demand, and availability. There are a few important factors that influence this coin's value in today's market. First and foremost is condition. Coins in higher grades, like extra fine or uncirculated, naturally command a premium. Fine condition still holds considerable value, but there's a clear difference in price when you move up to higher grades, as these coins become even rarer in pristine condition. Secondly, the mintage and availability play a role. Limited mintage coins like this one tend to increase in value as the years go by, particularly because it was not intended for regular circulation. Additionally, because it celebrates Australia's unique animals, it appeals only to coin collectors but also to wildlife enthusiasts and fans of Australian culture. This broad interest keeps demand high, which in turn maintains the coin's collector value. Lastly, the aesthetic appeal of this coin can't be ignored. The fauna design is a visual masterpiece that captures Australia's biodiversity, making it more than just a coin, it's a piece of art. Collectors appreciate coins that tell a story or celebrate heritage, and this coin does both beautifully. If you're looking to add this Australian fauna 50-cent coin to your collection, here are a few tips. Make sure you're buying from a reputable source, whether online or through a trusted dealer, especially if you're seeking higher grade coins. Always verify the authenticity of any Australian collectible coins and consider getting them graded if you come across a particularly valuable piece. Another tip is to keep your coin in a protective case to maintain its current condition and preserve its value over time. Even if it's already in fine condition, taking care of it can help it retain its value and potentially increase in value, especially if demand continues to rise. The 2004 Australian 50-cent Fauna Series coin with the lorikeet, koala, and wombat is truly a gem in the world of coin collecting. Not only does it represent Australia's natural beauty and biodiversity, but it's also a valuable collector's piece with a unique design that has stood the test of time. Its limited mintage and high demand have contributed to its value in the collector's market, making it a great addition to any collection. Next up, we're diving into the collector's world with a spotlight on a unique coin from down under the Australia $1 coin from 2006 in very fine condition. Now, while some coins might seem ordinary, this one has a story that adds a lot of intrigue and even value to the collector's market today. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or maybe just looking to learn more about the hidden gems in your change drawer, stick around because we're going to explore this coin's value, history, and what makes it stand out to collectors. First, let's get to know the 2006 Australia $1 coin. Released by the Royal Australian Mint, this coin carries a unique design that reflects the spirit and history of Australia. Unlike the earlier year's Mob of Ruse design, which is the well-known kangaroo design by Stuart Devlin, some variations of the 2006 feature commemorative themes. This year was not a major commemorative issue, but it's still highly sought after due to its relatively lower mintage and appealing design. In Australia, $1 coins are part of daily currency, but the 2006 coin in very fine condition has some collector value that can surprise many. So let's take a look at the design on this coin. On the obverse side, we have the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. His initials RB appear just below the Queen's neck, a detail many collectors look for to verify authenticity. This side of the coin represents Australia's ties with the Commonwealth and respects the monarch as the head of state during the year of issue. On the reverse, the standard design features 5 kangaroos, a symbol of Australia's wildlife and national identity. Kangaroos are iconic to Australia and also symbolize the country's rugged beauty and unique environment. This design is popular among collectors worldwide due to its detailed artistry and the symbol of Australia it represents. Now let's talk about the big question: what's the value of this 2006 Australia $1 coin in very fine condition in today's collector market? In general, Australian $1 coins aren't especially rare since they're minted for everyday use. However, specific years, including 2006, have drawn some interest due to the lower numbers still in very fine or uncirculated condition. A very fine grade indicates that this coin has seen light circulation, with only minor wear on the raised designs and slight flattening on the highest points. Coins in this condition are quite attractive to collectors who prefer pieces that retain much of their original detail. For a 2006 Australia $1 coin in very fine condition, the typical collector's value currently ranges $82,000. That might sound like a huge value at first glance. Looking to the future, could this 2006 Australia $1 coin go up in value? The answer is potentially yes. Coins generally appreciate over the years, particularly if they are part of a collectible series. As time passes, fewer coins remain in very fine condition due to circulation and wear, which could mean that a well-preserved 2006 coin might be worth more a decade from now. Australian coins are also becoming more desirable internationally as more collectors enter the market. Although it might not see a dramatic price surge in the near future, gradual value growth is definitely possible for those willing to hold onto it long term. The 2006 Australia $1 coin in very fine condition may seem like a simple coin, but for collectors, it holds a special value. As a piece of Australian currency, it connects us to the culture and wildlife of Australia, and as a collectible, it can bring joy and even some extra value to those who cherish it. It may yet be a high-value item, who knows what the future holds. Collecting is all about patience, appreciation, and knowing that sometimes small investments today can pay off in big ways later on. Next up, we're going to take a close look at a unique piece, the 1974 Lincoln penny, with green spots on the reverse, no mint mark, in fine condition. This coin might just be worth more than you'd expect, so let's jump right in. The Lincoln cent, or penny, has been a staple of American currency since 1909, honoring the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. The 1974 penny, specifically, comes from an era when the U.S. Mint was still experimenting with copper. This year saw millions of these pennies minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark. Now, you might notice something unusual here: green spots on the reverse side of this coin. These spots are actually due to oxidation and can sometimes be a result of how the coin was stored over the years. Pennies made from copper are prone to this, especially if they've been exposed to moisture or other environmental factors. Let's rewind a bit to understand why these green spots appear. From 1962 to 1982, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with a high copper content, around 95% copper, with the rest being zinc. Copper is a reactive metal, meaning it can corrode and form green or brown spots when exposed to certain elements. So, it's not unusual to see green spots, especially on older pennies like this 1974 issue. This phenomenon is known as verdigris, which is a form of copper corrosion. But is this 1974 penny valuable just because of those green spots? Well, the green spots themselves don't necessarily add value. In fact, they might slightly lower the value because they indicate corrosion. However, 1974 pennies have become a bit of an item in recent years due to their copper content, and there's been a steady demand from collectors, especially if they're in good condition, despite any discoloration. So, what's the market value for a 1974 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, in fine condition? In today's collector market, this coin, even with some wear, can fetch around $45,000, which might sound like much at first glance. And here's where things get interesting. There have been instances where specific 1974 Lincoln pennies with unique coloring errors or in high grades sold for significantly higher amounts in auctions. Some collectors are willing to pay extra if they find something unique or historical in the coin's appearance, like a rare mint error. For instance, coins with double dies or off-center strikes can sometimes command much higher prices. If your 1974 penny is in very fine or extra fine condition, its value could easily be closer to $1 or more, especially if a collector is seeking a copper penny from this period in pristine condition. The green spots, however, would need to be minimal and should ideally be treated to preserve the coin if you're planning to sell it at its highest possible value. One of the reasons collectors seek these pennies is the copper content. As of today, the metal content alone in a pre-1982 penny is actually worth more than the face value of the coin. Although it's illegal to melt pennies down for their copper, this composition is still a selling point for collectors. That's why pre-1982 pennies like the 1974 Lincoln cent hold more interest. Remember, even with minor corrosion, some collectors still value these older pennies for their historical appeal and their copper composition. So don't overlook your pocket change. You might be holding on to a small piece of history worth more than a penny. Next up, we're diving into a detailed look at one of Australia's classic coins, the 1979 20-cent piece. If you're interested in Australian coins or wondering about the value of a vintage 20-cent coin from 1979, you're in the right place. We'll explore the coin's historical background, the factors that influence its market value today, and why collectors might pay a premium for one in very fine condition. First, let's talk about the story behind the 20-cent coin in Australia. The 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia switched to the decimal currency system. The design features a platypus swimming gracefully through the water, which has become one of the most iconic images in Australian currency. Designed by Stuart Devlin, this coin's image perfectly represents Australia's unique wildlife and culture. Now, let's zero in on 1979. Although this was not the first year of the 20-cent coin, 1979 pieces are still highly valued due to the relatively low mintage and the fact that they've become harder to find in top condition over the years. Back in the day, these coins were used daily in Australia, which means finding a 1979 Australian 20-cent coin in very fine condition or better can be quite a challenge today. When we talk about a coin in very fine condition, we're looking for specific characteristics. A very fine coin will have only minimal wear and will display the key details of the design with good clarity. On a 1979 Australian 20-cent coin, this means that the platypus and water details should still be visible, although there might be slight wear on high points. Overall, a very fine coin has just enough wear to show that it's circulated but has been preserved carefully. Now, let's discuss why the grade of very fine matters. Collectors often seek out coins that retain as much detail as possible. And in the case of a 1979 Australia 20-cent coin, very fine condition can raise its value considerably. Coins in this grade are much rarer than those in lower grades due to the heavy circulation these coins saw. A 1979 Australian 20-cent coin in average circulated condition might not attract much attention, but as soon as we get into the very fine or even extremely fine grades, we see a significant jump in market value. In today's collector market, a 1979 Australian 20-cent piece in very fine condition can sell for $116,000 depending on demand and availability. This may seem highest. The value of these coins tends to increase as collectors look to complete high-grade sets. Finding an entire set of Australian 20-cent coins from the 1970s in very fine condition or better can be quite an achievement, so collectors are willing to pay a premium for individual pieces that fit these criteria. Several factors play a role in determining the current value of a 1979 20-cent coin in very fine condition. Although the 1979 20-cent coin is extremely rare, finding one in very fine condition is not easy. Most coins from this period have significant wear, so very fine or higher grades are sought after by collectors. As we discussed earlier, very fine coins are prized for their detail and limited wear. The better the condition, the higher the value. Australian coins have a robust collector's market, both domestically and internationally. As new collectors enter the hobby, demand for coins from the 1970s often increases, which can drive up prices for well-preserved examples like this one. Coin prices can fluctuate based on trends in collecting. For example, if there's an increased focus on Australian coins, or if the platypus design becomes particularly desirable, values could increase. Where can you buy or sell a 1979 20-cent coin in very fine condition? There are a few options. Local coin shops and coin shows are great places to find these coins, especially if you want to inspect them in person. For anyone looking to collect or sell a 1979 Australian 20-cent coin, here are a few tips. First, keep an eye on market trends. Sometimes, coins from certain years or with specific designs suddenly increase in popularity, which can impact their value. Second, if you're purchasing, consider having the coin professionally graded to confirm its condition. This can add to the value and ensure it's accurately represented in the collector's market. And finally, if you're selling, be sure to describe the condition accurately. Mentioning key features like the sharpness of the platypus design and any visible wear can help attract serious collectors. And that wraps up our look at the 1979 Australian 20-cent coin in very fine condition. Whether you're just starting your collection or have been at it for years, this coin represents an unaffordable yet iconic piece of Australian history. We hope this video has given you valuable insights into the collector's market for this fascinating coin. Next up, we're diving into an intriguing piece, the Australia 5-cent coin from 1994, particularly one with noticeable black spots in fine condition. Could this coin be worth more than you think? Stick around to find out. The 5-cent coin is a staple in Australian currency. Introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned to decimal currency, this coin has a fascinating history. Designed by Stuart Devlin, the reverse features the echidna, an iconic and unique Australian marsupial, while the obverse displays Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Makhlouf for coins minted in 1994. Now, what makes this particular coin from 1994 so special? It's the presence of these black spots. While some may see them as imperfections, collectors often find such features intriguing. These spots are usually caused by environmental exposure or improper storage, and believe it or not, these imperfections can sometimes increase the coin's value due to their rarity and unique appearance. In 1994, millions of 5-cent coins were minted, but over time, fewer coins from that year have remained in circulation, especially in collectible conditions. Coins like this one, with distinct features such as black spots, are now sought after by niche collectors who enjoy coins with stories to tell. So, what is the collector market value of this coin today? In fine condition, a standard 1994 Australian 5-cent coin may seem worth much, typically $40,000. However, The presence of black spots adds uniqueness, which can attract collectors willing to pay a premium. Depending on the collector and the coin's appeal, it could sell for anywhere between $90,000 and $8,000 in today's market. Online marketplaces or specialized numismatic forums show that coins with similar imperfections often find enthusiastic buyers. Some coins with particularly striking or unusual discolorations have been known to fetch even higher prices, sometimes up to $110,000 for the right buyer. So, how can you determine the value of your 1994 Australia 5-cent coin with black spots? Here are a few steps. Examine its condition. In fine condition, there may be some wear and tear, but details on the echidna and queen's portrait should still be visible. Verify its authenticity. Make sure it's not a counterfeit or heavily damaged modern coin. Assess the black spots. Are they natural discolorations or something artificial? Natural imperfections add more value. Consult collectors. Reach out to coin clubs or forums to get opinions on its rarity and worth. Always remember that the value of a coin isn't just about the metal it's made of. It's about the story it tells, its rarity, and how much someone is willing to pay. If you have a 1994 Australian 5-cent coin with black spots, consider having it appraised by a professional or listing it on a collector's marketplace to see what it might fetch. Well, there you have it, folks. The 1994 Australian 5-cent coin, even with its imperfections, could be a hidden treasure in your collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is a reminder that even the smallest coins can hold significant value. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of British coins to uncover the value of a hidden gem, the United Kingdom halfpenny from 1959 in fine condition. Is this small coin packing big bucks in the collector's market? Stick around to find out. Before we get into its current market value, let's take a quick look at the coin's history and design. The United Kingdom halfpenny, often called a halfpenny, was a staple of British currency for centuries, with this specific version issued between 1954 and 1970 during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The obverse features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. This design is iconic for its simplicity, showcasing the Queen without a crown reflecting her youthful charm. On the reverse, we see Sir Francis Drake's famous ship Golden Hind, a nod to Britain's naval history and exploration legacy. This intricate design was crafted by artist Thomas Humphrey Paget. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1959 halfpenny stand out? This coin is the rarest in the series. Its age, historical context, and diminishing availability in fine or better condition make it a collectible item. Coins from this period are part of the pre-decimal currency system, which was phased out in 1971. This makes the 1959 halfpenny a piece of history that collectors cherish for its cultural significance and classic design. When we say fine condition, what does that mean? In the numismatic world, grading refers to the coin's wear and preservation. A coin in fine condition shows moderate wear on its high points but retains major design details. For the 1959 halfpenny, you'll notice slight flattening on the Queen's hair and the ship's sails, but the lettering and key details remain sharp and clear. Collectors appreciate this grade because it balances affordability with a coin that still looks great in a collection. Now let's get to the big question. How much is this coin worth today? As of today, the value of a 1959 United Kingdom halfpenny in fine condition typically ranges $97,000. This might seem like a fortune. It's also worth noting that some collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins with exceptional eye appeal or provenance, so always research the market before buying or selling. If you're lucky enough to own a 1959 halfpenny, here are a few tips to maximize its value. Store it in a coin flipper holder to prevent further wear. Accurate grading is crucial for determining market value, so consider having it assessed by a professional grading service. The 1959 United Kingdom halfpenny might make you rich overnight, and it's a charming and affordable piece of history that holds a special place in British numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, coins like this offer a glimpse into the past while steadily gaining value over time. Next up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of this small yet intriguing coin, its unique silver appearance, and its surprising value in the collector's market. Let's explore what makes this coin so special and why collectors are willing to pay big bucks for it. The Australian 5-cent coin is a staple of everyday currency. First introduced in 1966, this coin has become an integral part of Australian life. Made from a copper-nickel alloy, it typically has a dull metallic gray finish. The coin features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, designed by Arnold Machen, and the iconic echidna on the reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin. But the 1983 version stands out for a very peculiar reason: a rare silver-like hue that sets it apart. In 1983, most 5-cent coins were struck like any other year, but some coins display a silver-like hue. This isn't due to the coin being made of silver. Instead, it's believed to result from a minting error, possibly involving variations in the alloy mix or an unusual finish during production. These anomalies are what collectors seek because they represent rare deviations from the norm. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Condition plays a crucial role in determining its value. A fine condition coin, like the one we're discussing, shows moderate wear but retains all major design details. While it's not as valuable as a coin in uncirculated condition, even fine coins with this silver shade are sought after due to their rarity. So, how much is this coin worth today? In fine condition, the 1983 silver shade 5-cent coin can fetch between $75,000 on the collector market. The exact price depends on factors like demand, rarity, and buyer interest. Given its unique appearance and backstory, this coin is a prized find for enthusiasts and investors alike. Wondering if you have one of these coins? Here are some tips. Check the year. Look for the 1983 date beneath the echidna on the reverse side. Inspect the color. Compare the coin to other 5-cent pieces. The silver shade should stand out. Evaluate the condition. Check for wear and damage. A fine condition coin should have visible details, though some signs of use are expected. If you believe you have this rare coin, consider getting it appraised by a numismatic expert or listing it on a platform like eBay or a specialized coin auction site. Collectors love coins like the 1983 silver shade 5-cent piece because they tell a story. This coin represents a rare minting anomaly, offering a tangible piece of history and a fascinating conversation starter. Its rising market value only adds to the appeal, making it an exciting addition to any collection. Do you have an Australian 5-cent coin with a silver hue in your collection? Or loose change? Share your finds in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going about this unique piece of Australian coinage. Next up, we explore fascinating coins from around the world and their hidden value in today's market. If you're a collector or just curious about the worth of coins you might have lying around, you're in the right place. We're diving into a special piece from Australia, the 10-cent coin from 1998. What makes this coin interesting? Why are collectors talking about it? And how much is it worth today? Stick around and let's unravel the story behind this intriguing silver shade coin in fine condition. First, let's set the stage. The Australian 10-cent coin is part of the standard decimal currency system introduced in 1966, replacing the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The coin features the iconic lyrebird on the reverse, symbolizing Australia's unique wildlife, and Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, as was the tradition for Commonwealth nations. The 1998 coin isn't rare in terms of mintage numbers. Millions were produced, but there are specific factors that make some of these coins stand out. So, what's the buzz about the 1998 Australia 10-cent coin? While most 10-cent coins from that year were struck in standard cupro nickel, a few coins have surfaced with an unusual silver shade. This distinctive coloring sets them apart, as it might indicate a minting error or a variation in the alloy composition. These errors are often unintentional, but become a goldmine for collectors due to their rarity. This silver shade variant has caught the eye of collectors worldwide, especially when it's in fine condition or better. Now, let's talk numbers. The value of this coin in today's collector market can vary based on its condition and demand. A standard 10-cent coin from 1998 in circulated condition is typically worth face value. However, the silver shade variant can fetch significantly more. In fine condition, like the one we're discussing today, prices range between $90,000 and dozens of dollars depending on the buyer's interest and market trends. For higher grade examples, such as very fine or extra fine, the value can go even higher, reaching $180,000 or more in some cases. Want to know if you have one of these gems in your collection? Here are some tips. Check the color, look for the distinct silver-like shade, compare it to other 10-cent coins from the same era. Inspect the condition. Fine condition means light wear, but clear details on the lyrebird and the queen's portrait. Consult experts. Visit a coin dealer or get your coin graded by a professional service for accurate valuation. And if you're planning to sell, online platforms like eBay or specialized coin forums are great places to connect with collectors. Just make sure to take clear photos and provide all the details, including weight and diameter if possible. The Australia 10-cent coin from 1998 may seem ordinary at first glance, but as we've seen, small details like a silver shade can make all the difference. Coins like these remind us that numismatics is not just about money, it's about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. So check your change, dig through those old coin jars, and who knows, you might have a valuable piece sitting right under your nose. That's it for today's episode of Coin Chronicles. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin stories and market insights. Until next time, happy collecting.